So this was that corner bedroom, kind of the main guy's room. This is a bathroom you can see they've had to totally gut.
It once was called the worst house in Clackamas County, filled with drug addicts, hypodermic syringes, and mounds of garbage. An eyesore and safety concern for neighbors living on what used to be a quiet street on Risley Avenue in Milwaukee.
This garage was filled with a lot of stuff. People would flop in.
Clackamas County Deputy Karen Moss says deputies were called to this house 240 times over a 2-year period.
These people are heavily into drug addiction mostly, and so fines don't mean anything to them.
Kickout day came June 5th, 2015, when deputies swarmed the property, armed with authority to evict residents, removing 11 people from the house and effectively shutting it down. A victory for this neighborhood.
Hey guys.
But Deputy Moss, who has patrolled these streets east of McLaughlin for more than 15 years, knew the house on Risley was just the tip of the iceberg.
Deputy Nikolai and I started talking. We're like, what can we do to actually make a dent in these houses that are, in essence, taking these neighborhoods hostage?
It wasn't just Risley Avenue.
Oh, you know what? I just remembered there's another one back on that street.
Drug addicts had taken over a house on LaGuardia Way.
For me, it was just noisy, a lot of banging. People were coming over here stealing his tools because they're addicts themselves. And so there was these battles going on. Who took my stuff?
Turning this quiet street into disarray.
It was just messy and dirty, and there was a lot of traffic going in and out of the house.
It's just a real pain getting around here. The neighborhood was going to hell.
Things weren't much better on El Centro Way.
It had all the classic cases of the drug house. People showing up real quick, running out to meet it, people parking around the corners to stay away from the video cameras that are in the neighborhood and walking around.
Or Madrona Lane, where neighbors say a steady flow of people came in and out of this house, selling drugs and committing property crimes.
They were stealing these small little items that I guess that they could sell quickly and get their, 12-hour high.
And on Cedar Avenue, 2 football fields of trash filled this property after drug addicts and transients took over this abandoned house. Neighbors dealt with constant noise, drug activity, and criminal mischief, all taking place right next to a school and daycare.
Oak Grove has many problematic houses, and this was, I know for a while, one of the worst houses right here, standing right behind me.
Cleaning up houses like these isn't easy. You need to speed up the foreclosure process, make arrests, and work with code enforcement to enforce violations. It takes time and doesn't always work.
We can sit here all day. We can enforce everything. But as soon as we leave, they come back.
Deputies Nikolai, Moss, and Manley decided to take action. Using lessons from the Risley house, they forged a new direction. The Neighborhood Livability Project was born. The plan allows neighbors, law enforcement, county council, the district attorney's office, and human services to work together to address problem houses in the county. A process that once took months or years now takes weeks, with fewer costs and negative impacts.
The biggest component is empowering the neighbors and bringing them on board, going to the community meetings saying, hey, we can't do this ourselves. We need you guys here with us.
We got the neighborhood watch going, which was really positive, and that, when you feel like you have no control over a situation like we did, that's something you can do, and it's positive, and it brings neighbors together.
Neighbors were told to call the non-emergency number to report suspicious activity. Community meetings were held around town, and Clackamas County deputies worked tirelessly to respond to calls, sometimes after their regular shift was over.
He was good about if we had a problem, we would email him and he would respond almost immediately. He came by on a really regular basis after his work at the courthouse.
The results, nothing short of amazing. Since June 2015, 29 problem houses have been closed and 28 are in the process.
The car thefts are down, the cars are getting broke into, all these things that, the piddly crimes that would happen around here are, they're still here, but not at the scale it used to be. So it's good, and it gives us encouragement to keep going on further and further with the rest of the area that's in our districts.
One of the unique aspects of the Neighborhood Livability Project is the focus on partnering with Human Services and Community Corrections to ensure the people living at these homes are given the opportunity to receive help for their addictions.
We don't want to put people in jail if we don't have to, but there has to be accountability. And so they know that we're going to put them in jail, but they also need to trust that we want to get them help. And so whether that's treatment or help finding a job or help getting them other resources that they may not have or counseling, then that's what we try to do.
It's not a handout, but a hand up, an opportunity to completely transform their future.
There's a lot of people who have gotten clean from heroin addiction. There's a lot of people who have jobs. People have been reunited with their children. And this program has really just brought families back together.
Deputies say the success stories make it all worth it.
It's nice to see people help themselves and get help.
It's a fine balance of justice with compassion.
I've seen her be very sweet. I've seen her outside talking to some ladies from this particular drug house, and then I've seen them hugging each other and go. I've seen her being very, very tough, locking people up, handcuffing, not taking any guff.
So this one, they've put a lot of work into. You can see they're out there working on it, but this looks 10 times better than it did before.
The work continues in Clackamas County, but at least for now, homes are being restored and a sense of normalcy has returned to these neighborhoods. A welcome change for the people living here.
We thank Joel so much for everything he did, and I just don't have enough words to say how great our neighborhood is now.
Oh, we are so thankful. I can't tell you, and I know I can speak on behalf of all of our neighbors. We are just absolutely grateful for him and thankful for all that he did.